Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty dramatic unfolding.
Definitely. A major, major escalation in the Middle East.
Yeah, the news is everywhere. Recent U.S. airstrikes targeting Iranian nuclear sites. Our sources really give us a detailed picture.
They do. Lots to unpack.
So our mission today is, well, to unpack it. We'll get into the critical details, the immediate fallout, and try to understand what this direct action really signified.
Right. It's a complex picture.
So to really get a handle on this, we need to look at exactly how it happened. The U.S. launched targeted airstrikes.
Mm-hmm.
And these weren't just random. They hit three key Iranian nuclear facilities: Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
And these are central sites, you know.
Yeah.
Our sources flag them as core to Iran's enrichment capabilities. Very high-value targets.
So definitely not just symbolic. This was intended to have impact.
Precisely. And what's really interesting is how they did it. The sources point to B-2 bombers and Tomahawk missiles.
Okay, so heavy hitters. Stealth and precision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That choice tells you a lot. It suggests, well, a high level of commitment, a real intent to get past defenses and hit hard. Minimize collateral damage, perhaps,
Yeah.
but maximize impact on the target.
And right after, we had President Trump making a statement.
Yeah, a very strong statement. Declared the strikes a success, said the sites were, quote, obliterated.
Obliterated. That's quite a word.
It is. And, you know, assessing the actual damage, especially for deeply buried sites like Fordow, is tricky. So obliterated might be a strong language.
Mm-hmm.
And another really crucial piece of context, this didn't happen in a vacuum. It was apparently conducted alongside ongoing Israeli strikes.
Ah, okay, so there's coordination or at least parallel action happening. Adds another layer entirely.
It really does. Complicates the strategic picture significantly.
So the U.S. declares mission accomplished, basically. But how did Iran react? And the rest of the world?
Well, as you'd probably guess, Iran's reaction was immediate and fierce. Condemnation, naturally, and a stark warning of serious retaliation. So the rhetoric ramped up very quickly.
I mean, international community.
Pretty much a united front calling for restraint. Global leaders, you know, urging everyone to step back from the brink. It's clearly got everyone on edge.
Understandably, this feels like a major threshold being crossed.
It absolutely is. And that brings us to the historical significance, right? If you connect the dots, our sources really hammer this home. This is the first direct U.S. military action on Iranian soil.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
That's huge. A big shift from relying on sanctions or, proxy conflicts.
Exactly. It sets a completely new precedent. And the immediate consequence, something very tangible, is this spike in fear about a wider war in the Middle East.
You can feel it.
You really can. And for you, listening, understanding these dynamics is key because these kinds of actions, well, they have ripple effects.
Big ones.
Huge. Global oil prices, supply chains, security alliances, diplomatic channels. It touches everything, affects everyone in some way. It's not just a regional issue.
So wrapping things up a bit, the key takeaways seem to be direct U.S. military action, very specific nuclear targets hit, and these starkly contrasting reactions. You've got declarations of success on one side, warnings of retaliation on the other, and the world nervously calling for calm.
Yeah, it's clear the ground has shifted significantly.
It really feels like it.
And I think that leaves us and you with a pretty profound question to chew on. What does this kind of direct military engagement actually mean for the future?
Especially with allies potentially acting concurrently.
Right. And with such strong global calls for restraint, what does it mean for diplomacy, for long-term stability in that whole region? It's something to really think about.